Okay, so I went over, got the pieces that I had in front of the fan, and just for your knowledge, the fan was set to 1, which is the lowest setting. Again, for only 5 minutes, and I have everything kind of on a board so that it's easy to move. I wanted to go over the tools that I have with you real quick. So I have a needle tool. I have a wood modeling tool. I have a flexible, smooth metal scraper. I have a wooden dowel. I have a toothbrush, and I have slip. Okay? And I wanted to show you again, kind of remind you that if you have extra scraps of clay, you just kind of dip them in a bucket of water and then throw them into a bag and then seal that bag so that that clay stays soft. And then I'll just get this bucket of water and put it over here. Okay, so we are pretty much all set up here to get started. If you don't have a wooden dowel at home, a pencil can also be a tool to help you, as well as it will replace or stand in place of the wood modeling tool. All right, so we have the stenciled wall that we cut out that was about 4.5 inches tall by 10 inches wide. I have my little circle that I cut out using the clay or tape roll core, if you will. And now I'm going to start to score and slip these things together. And you'll notice that the canvas puts on a texture. One side of the clay is a little bit smoother than the other side. I will put this canvas texture on the inside of the mug, and I will put the canvas texture of the disc toward the ground, if you will. So when I go to slip this, I need to slip on the outside of the disc, because that's where the clay wall is going to touch the disc, okay? Then I need to slip along the bottom edge of the slab here and the two ends of the slabs here. This end and this end, okay? So I've got everything slipped. Now I'm going to carefully, gently wrap the slab around the circle here. And I'm going to gently tap it along the edge. And then I'm going to put the seam together, just like so. And you kind of have to be careful as you're putting the seam together. You don't want to crush it. You don't want to mar the clay. I'm moving the slab form over onto the board. It's a lot easier. The reason why I have a board is that you can rotate the board fairly easy to see all sides of it and everything. Now, what I'm going to do, if you're at home doing this, you can use a pencil, is I'm going to kind of gently pinch the seams together here with my fingertips, my index finger and my thumb. And that's in hopes to kind of really bond that seam together, okay, really seal it. And then on the inside, with the eraser of my pencil, I can kind of gently smear the inside of that seam together as well. And then later on, with the wood modeling tool, when I'm in the studio or whatever, I can kind of smooth that inside out a little bit better, which I'm going to do right now so I don't forget. I'm just kind of smoothing out the little eraser marks that were made by the pencil and just kind of smoothing that seam, okay? So I already talked about this, but I am going to kind of gentle tap along the bottom edge, and I'm going to make sure that I go 360 degrees all the way around, gentle tapping. Try to make sure that there is not a crack between the slab that I've put on here and the disc, because if there is a crack right there, the mug will leak, and we don't want it to leak. Now I'm taking the wood modeling tool and I'm going to gently kind of undercut this, just like so, kind of tapping, kind of making the edge of the mug a little bit rounder, getting rid of the sharp edge that was created by my fingers as I was gently tapping. And that kind of gets rid of the sharp edge along the bottom. Then I'm going to take that wood modeling tool, put it on the inside, and I can come back and I'm kind of putting pressure, pushing out just gently, ever so gently, and I'm going to get rid of that pinched mark that I made with my fingers. Get rid of that so that it totally goes away. And then I can just come back here, and you'll notice that it kind of stretched the wall as I did that, and I'm just going to kind of fix that with my fingers and kind of gently get rid of that. Then I'm going to take my fingers and I'm going to pinch them along the edge, because the lip looks pretty thick. That 1/4 inch lip is kind of thick. So I am just going to kind of pinch along the edge and make it smoother and kind of make that the lip of my mug more ergonomically viable, if you will. Okay, and then that is all I want you to have done before you kind of head home. You will take the little piece that I have there and put the 2 of these inside your damp box. I would encourage you to squeeze a sponge of water into your damp box, especially if we're just transitioning from one project to the next. So 1.5 maybe spongefuls of water into your damp box. The damp box will absorb that water pretty quickly, the plaster will. And I'm just kind of rolling it around, letting it kind of get in there. Okay, then I will gently put my mug inside here, and as I'm looking at it, I'm kind of smoothing the bottom here a little bit more before I put it inside there. I'm also letting the plaster kind of absorb a little bit more of the water before I put it in the piece. Okay, and then if I had to take a picture for an exit ticket for today to kind of show how much I got done or whatever, I would do it now before I put it inside. And then here I'm just using the wooden dowel to kind of push the bottom back out, because it kind of got pushed in when I was handling it. Then I'm going to gently put the mug inside on the slab there, the plaster, and then I'm also going to put the handle there. And then I could kind of stuff this with plastic to make sure that this project doesn't kind of roll around. And if you have your tools and other things like that, you can kind of prevent it from rolling around. And then you simply cover it, and you are ready to put this on your shelf and take it home. Okay? And then we'll go from there as to what we need to do next.